Oh, look, Tevin Campbell is coming out. Oh, man, we're not going to act like Tevin Campbell shouldn't be an absolute super duper star if he was born 20 years later. Ooh, tomorrow will bring. Oh, man, last night I saw you trending. I didn't imitate anybody more than Tevin Campbell other than maybe Michael Jackson and my father. Welcome to Open Mic. We like to start the show with a few stories or a hot take on a story you're not likely to see anywhere else. I'm from gorgeous Prince George's, and now I spill the tea in D.C., so you know these jokes come from a place of love at least 51% of the time. Let's start things off right here in D.C., where the Moechella movement's trademark application was refused after organizers abandoned it in the wake of a challenge from attorneys representing the Coachella Music Festival.
Lawyers for Johnson in a statement said that the name Moechella came about as a juxtaposition and parody of the major pop festivals, specifically Coachella, which have become party grounds for the rich and famous, unaffordable for the average Washington, D.C. resident. Moechella has always been free, using music to advocate for the issues facing the people of Washington, D.C.
Oh man, Moechella is a parody of Coachella. Coachella is a parody of what Moechella turned into. We didn't land on Coachella. Coachella landed on us. Coachella, you may have won the battle, but you didn't win the war. Good luck getting everyday people to stop calling it Moechella. Coachella can't send cease and desist letters to everybody. Besides, folks in D.C. been remixing corporate names for years. The Safeway on Georgia Avenue is nice now, but the old one used to be known as Unsafeway for obvious reasons. And I know old folks who still call CVS People's Drugstore. Hey, you can take my People's, but you're not gonna stop me from saying People's. And one of my riders, Leon Scott, told me about a McDonald's near Hampton University with the nickname Black Mac. And that was always the epicenter of ratchetness. And the coup de grace, folks here are notorious for adding extra S to the end of names. Yes, I'm at Target's. You need something from Walmart's. They got unlimited pasta at Olive Garden's. Say less. It does kind of look like an S goes down. Okay. To the organizers of Moechella, hey, keep your heads up. They can't stop the will of the people. And by the way, we're staying in D.C. for this next story, where a company called Tailwind Air is offering the first ever seaplane trip service from New York City to D.C., with flights starting at $395 one way, with 8 total seats available per flight. $395, good Lord. That's a lot of money. How about for just one leg? Megabus is $50 round trip for a family of 4, and you get change. Unlike Megabus, Tailwind does claim they will reduce total travel times by up to 60%, and all passengers get comfortable leather seats with aisle and window access, while on Megabus, you get in where you fit in, and the person next to you might stink or talk too much, or both. Unless that's your family, then it's definitely both. That is why Tailwind can get away with these prices. I'm going to need to see some testimonials from plane boat passengers before I invest in this trip. And yes, I will need to invest in order to put up $395. But I'm not going to be a test case on how air and seaworthy those things actually are. And I chose this story because it's all over social media, and I'm doing the Lord's work by making fun of it. A Missouri pastor named Carlton Funderburg is apologizing after a video featuring his rant where he called his congregation busted and disgusted for not buying him luxury items circulated on TikTok.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. Come on. Come on. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John knit. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci.
Wow, if they can't afford it, well, clearly they ain't got it. Bruh, you ain't worth my Dollar General. The audacity, the unmitigated gall, the effrontery. I had to Google school words to describe what I just saw. Then he had the nerve to get even more specific with his requests.
I even found out that Movado, you can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters.
Bruh, Your name is Carlton Funderburk. That sounds like Old Bunny. Buy your own Movado. As much as I blame low rent Creflo Dollar for his antics, I'm actually more mad at that audience member who was co-signing them. Y'all heard him just yelling, yes, you can. Yes, you can. They got Movado and Tag Heuers. That person deserves to lose their money. Now, I chose this last story because it's fascinating and creepy at the exact same time. Capitol Records has signed Effin Mecca, a virtual rapper powered by artificial intelligence with over 10 million followers on TikTok. And yes, that makes me feel very bad about my TikTok situation. AI is coming for everybody's jobs. I mean, even the mumble rappers, I thought they were safe. He even got a feature from Gunna, which is something a lot of human rappers can't accomplish. It's over for y'all on SoundCloud. I'm sorry to be the one to explain this to you. As mad as I am that Elon Musk might have been right about AI replacing people, I'm more mad that the lyrics were generated by AI, but an anonymous human being did the rapping. The world owes Milli Vanilli an apology and probably a record deal. Now, as long as they don't try and make virtual comedians, I'm good. I will personally sabotage that algorithm for coming from my bag. My favorite story, you know, it's got to be Pastor past the collection plate. He really tried it. Although I will say I will come back and revisit this if in fact that AI SoundCloud rapper ends up selling his mixtapes in the parking lot of 7-Eleven.